be deciding which side they begin on. And, well, CT to T side, is there any preference here? Because
yeah, CT side.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know, it's tricky because against Envy, I mean, their terror side is just a monster. So, I mean, there's no necessarily right choice. But I don't think that, you know, your NIP, you can't really go away from that CT side. You just gotta go roll with it and see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if Envy wins this knife round, if they're gonna pick the T side, because I mean they defy all the rules on this map. No matter how much economy is built up, no matter how little they have, they find ways to make it work on this map especially. So that'll be curious to see. But I mean, basically, it's gonna have to be NIP once again just playing lights out. They're gonna have to have some sick plays out of Get Right to keep them in it. Sick plays out of Forrest to bail them out of some tough spots. When we actually talked to Get Right this morning, he just kind of smiled at us. He was so excited to bring out the P90, and he specifically mentioned it on this map. He's like, I'm gonna bring it out in Inferno, and they're not even gonna know it hit him. So really curious to see what he has planned for that.
Alright, Get Right, you've got a tough challenge on your hand. You've got to bring that out against EnVyUs on this map. Most days of the week, you'd say this would be EnVyUs winning this hands down. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that, at least on this map. But then again, as you said, we've got to factor in that bomb that's come out of kind of nowhere. We're just not too sure what to chalk it up to. It's working. That's the main thing. So
I think they just spent so much time to beat up that they eventually just finally got to that breaking point where they're just like, all right, let's just play free. Let's not try and do too much. Let's not try to restrict ourselves. It's almost like, you know, like go-karts when you go, they have like the governors on them so they can't go over like 20 miles an hour.
Someone's just
like 15 miles an hour. Yeah, they've taken the governors off. They're ready to fly free. And that's what we've seen out of them yesterday against Cloud9 and then just on Dust 2 in this best of 3 just a couple of minutes ago. So hopefully it continues here onto Inferno, but this is a tall task for NIP.
Alright, here's an uphill struggle. It's done on the T side, Envy on the CT side. Envy are drastic favourites on this map. You're saying it would be, but brilliant start already. Forrest's going to crack it open, Apex goes down. And that's the start that NIP were probably hoping for here.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. Apex tries to cross or swings out a little bit just for information, but I mean, that's the thing. When Forrest is hitting this level with his aim, he's going to punish the smallest mistake. This is going to be a B crunch. 2 players coming up mid towards the wrap side, want to go towards CT spawn. 3 players in the bomb sitting at the base of Banana, but actually, NIP just postures for that kind of a play, and they slow things down a little bit. Now NPK is going to be forced back into the site. That draws the rotation away, and this timing coming into CT spawn from Freiburg and Forrest is perfect.
It really is. We can have these stops, though. He's in the perfect place with no Forrest. As you said, finding that bomb, going to hit these shots. Down to NPK, he gets swept aside, and NIP take complete control of that B side. Just perfectly played, not losing a single player just yet. And now it's down to Kenny and Gio to find any sort of room to breathe. But Forrest, that's his third. This man is finding every single shot, and there's Gerai leaping into the action. And NIP kick off with a bang. That's round 1 in the bag, and it's a good start, let's just say.
Yeah, well, a clean sweep. I mean, that you can't really. That was so well executed out of NIP. That was great coordination because it looked like the Forrest and Freiburg wanted to just get up there and initiate the contact on that wrap side into CT spawn, but they kind of paused, they second thought it, they backed off just a little bit, and once NBK spotted 3 players rushing at him, that pulls Happy away just a little bit, just you know, maybe 2 seconds of running back towards B, and that gives all the space needed to Forrest and Freiburg, and they punish it. So really, really well done. Envy buys up some smokes. They do have the armor and upgraded pistols. They're going to try and keep Banana smoked off as long as possible for NBK, who's just playing their solo. So they're going to try and funnel NIP into a hit up middle.
A beautiful movement coming out from NBK. Going to actually hop himself up towards that boost box. Inside by Dark. To be fair to NIP, they are going in the right direction. They just need to make sure they check this. The smoke will fade as well. Another point factor in this one, but NBK will at least find it almost enough time to go for the reload there, but Freiburg's going to bully his way in, and once again NIP overtake the site, and Envy making the small mistakes that do cost them a hell of a lot. Yeah, I mean, you know, NBK, I mean, that one smoke missing, that entire strategy is to run down the clock at B completely, and if they run through that smoke, NBK with the CZ can get 2 and maybe make a retake more likely, at least punish the economy, but one missed smoke, you know, NBK is just like, come on guys, I mean, you can't be making those mistakes. His entire strategy is centered around those smokes, and when you miss one like that, it's all over. A fair bit of a rarity, we don't see it all that often, right? You know, it's not something you see every single day, but anyway, this should be fairly easy pickings, but I can imagine Envy want to keep hold of that armor. Forrest is the only one. Forrest.
Just a little tap doesn't connect.
It's like looked at it twice, like, is that a chicken? Is that the stair? No, it's okay. It is a player's head. All right, there we go. Didn't quite get the shot.
That's
off,
unfortunate. He was farming so hard. He was on the
Yep.
chase, and I mean, you don't even really need to chase in that situation. But he didn't want them to keep those pistols and armor to the next round either way. Doesn't find anything, so no more punishment going either way. And this time, it's going to be a 4-man stack for EnVy over towards the B site with 1 in Halls.
Talking about those death squads earlier that we saw on Dust 2 coming out, even the 4-1 splits that basically EnVy love doing, just stacking them out. And Exist the one looking for the information here, just with the USPS, smoke, and, you know, head armor, well, body and head armor, of course. But there's a little bit of almost the lead factor in this one, looking for maybe any information. And no one's showing here for this one player. But MBK going down won't ring alarm bells. That's a player who's been on B, but they are actually making the push towards the site with 3 players here. This could be more dangerous. They could start getting a little bit costly, and actually it is. There we go. Alarm bells are going to be ringing throughout the NIP side, and they just walked into the perfectly placed trap. Yeah,
they really did, and they were playing it so well with Exist leading the way with just the USP. He was finding all the intel for him, and then Get Right comes in with a gun. That gets dropped. One more gun gets dropped, and now all of a sudden, they're coordinated to CT spawn. They've been corralled here, and there's nowhere for them to really go. They're going to try and make it to the A site. Here comes the push in the library. Keo with the P90 doesn't even have to stop. It's all done. They line up for him, but he can't get that second kill onto Ketty. So there's the eco from EnVy. They win that 3rd round. Found no success in the 2nd, but 3rd is all theirs as NIP makes just a couple small mistakes and get punished for it.
Yeah, that's going to be frustrating for them as well, I can imagine. As you mentioned, Exist was playing it pretty much perfectly to that degree. He was playing the right role and it was getting information, but once they saw MBK go down, I guess they just took it as a go signal and really did backfire. But already we're going to see NIP back towards those rifles. It's Freiburg who's going to be suffering in this one, just the P250 beside him, but a fast play going out from Forest straight up. Challenge was Kenny, but that's not going to work out. Apex was there as well, sitting towards CT Arch, and already NIP down to 4.
Yeah, and this is the danger on this map, is once these Molotovs and smokes come out, we saw how aggressive NIP took some of these choke points on S2, but on Inferno, once the utility gets going strong in the CT's favor, it's much more difficult. Not a lot of success to find, and even with the man advantage, EnVy is kind of cheating happy in CT spawn over towards the A site. But no pressure is put on whatsoever from NIP. 2 players all the way up towards Car and Banana. 1 more smoke going out right now from Happy. And NBK has 1 left as well for as soon as this expires, so they can actually run this clock down very low if they choose to. The bomb is dropped in Banana, so NIP's going to try and get a pick or put some pressure up towards A to alleviate the defense over at B.
Oh, it might be Apex who's going to have a great chance here. He's just on the other side of that smoke. If he'd pushed through, if Kenny had maybe seen a little more, it would have paid off. But no, the flash comes out. He's going to wait it. Doesn't catch any of the NIP players. They're just and Gero will get the kill towards Kenny. That's going to open up CT Arch completely. They can now pressure B from the back if they wanted to, but it looks like actually Gero's just going to stick himself around there. The other players are going to join up on that banana side, and we are going to see that play towards that B side. MBK still present though. He's still in the back of sight this time. Happy's got the cross. Freiburg gets caught out in that one. And now MBK just wait this one out. Get right in there. Finally, Happy catches out Alu as well. Happy's been finding back to that smoke. Just a touch off as well. And now Exist 1v2. Couldn't have found Happy at least. The bomb is away. Comes out. Perfect play to Exist. 1 more to go, but Keo comes in. He's got the kit. He's got the time. And the defuse has been defused.
Yeah, the Get Right opens things up and almost makes that likely. Actually, Happy saves the day, just spams through the smoke, finds that first kill. NBK playing behind triple, can't get any kills, but he stays alive as long as possible. And this is tough for NIP, because I know they'd more than likely, with 4 kills and a plant that round, they would love to force by here. But they're going to swallow that desire just a little bit. They're not going to invest too much into this round. Some upgraded pistols, a couple players have armor. Exist has some utility, so they have a plan coming into this eco round. And there's Apex going for a little bit more. He's actually committing hugely, but Forrest just points straight up. Shoots him right in the head through his feet, so nicely done from Forrest. Apex once again punished for that kind of information gathering play.
And we know that Forrest can make things happen once they get a rifle even onto these rounds. We're going to see if he's going to keep that to hand or if he's going to drop it out maybe to someone else. Alu does have head armor here, but maybe just going to stick with it. Happy's gone searching, and there's a player who exists just turned away. So he gets back up. MBK tries to for a second, but Gero gets the double. That's going to open up B completely. And now a sloppy bit of a round comment from EnVy, just kind of peeking around every single angle they wanted to.
Yeah, they're getting punished for all this aggression, and Apex commits to that fight way too much, and then you see Envy starting to feel a little bit nervous perhaps and pushing 2 up from Banana, and they get punished. And now look at all this space. Envy has no idea what's going on right now. Alu apparently, he's just running like there's no cares in the world. And now completely split. There's 2 1-on-1s on each side of the map. What is happening here?
This is such a sloppy round from both teams almost, or just unfortunate timing. Gerright's trying to hitch around the smoke. He's going to find Kenny. That's going to maybe allow Forrest a little more room to breathe. Kio's going to have to touch it over there because the bomb's en route. 18 seconds left. This went down to the wire here. Kio 1v2. He knows that bomb's going down towards B. He knows he's up against Forrest and Gerright. The classics here. Got a lot of work to do. Both of them playing towards our ruined side. Gerright already working his way around the back. Gonna play to the timing. Around the world we go. Every second that bomb ticks, this is getting dangerously harder for Kio. He's having to make the play. He's having to take this a great little bit of time bought by NIP. Playing this so well. Kio might have found Gerright there, but it doesn't matter. Gerright just LGs him up in the air, and it's, well, a nicely played out little bit of a round at the end then in the afterplant. But the early round was just everywhere.
Yeah, that was just so hectic and scattered. It's Gerright. Those 2 kills that he has coming out of the small pit in middle, I mean, those are the crucial kills. There's no reason why he should have got that second one as well, but, I mean, you mentioned unfortunate timing on some of those duels, and, I mean, of all the players, Gerright's going to be the one coming out with the fortunate timing of it. He's always going to be on the winning end of that. And that 2-on-1 was played so beautifully, just neither Forrest nor Gerright taking any unnecessary fight, not even leaving it up to chance for it to turn into a 1-on-1, and just avoiding the fight, using the bomb as a third player, and completely impossible for Kiyoshima to win that round.
Leaving Envy with so little to work with into this one. Deagles, CCs, he's not going to get any freedom there towards Banana. Exist will catch him out first and foremostly. NIP spreading throughout the map. A little bit of a play from Ali being very passive towards second mid, just Kenny's gonna get found, and it's just happy alive. Envy not gonna make much out of this one. Didn't have the armor to kind of much out of it. He does take down Gerright, but it's not the end of the world. They'll recover a hell of a lot of what they invested in. NIP 4-2 now. It's more these gun rounds. And last time, let's bear in mind how aggressive Envy went. They were super killing. You know, they didn't have any sort of, I think the right word for it was, there's no composure to it. It was just very, very, you know, all over the place. If they calm it down a little more, you can imagine it's going to get extraordinarily hard for the NIP side. Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Envy's gotten a little bit sloppy at times, and here's Forrest picking up the AWP again in the place of Alu, so that's a little bit curious. Maybe Alu not feeling it on Inferno so much, or maybe just Forrest is... It's kind of hard to turn on Forrest when he's playing like this and he says, I work it well. It's tough to say no to a guy like that. But yeah, it's just Envy. We saw it a little bit on Dust 2 at times as well. Some of these aggressive pushes are just seeing sloppy. They're seeing very, very desperate. And NIP's punished him a couple times early on in this half, so it'll be curious to see if that can continue. Not the greatest buy out of Envy in terms of the guns they have, but they have a lot of utility behind it because they've skimped on the weaponry. They don't buy the M4s, they get the smokes. Kenny S just has the CZ. He's already used his smoke, but this is going to run down the clock. It's going to give him a little bit more space to work with early on in the round. 47 seconds left now. He have vast amounts of their presence towards that B side. Gerright actually at the helm here. Normally, you know, in yesteryear, he'd be over in apps, maybe trying to get some play going towards A, maybe joined by Forrest. It'd be those two, and then kind of the other three left together. But these days, it looks like they're maybe switching things up a little from the classic style that they play that, well, didn't work out so well, it seems. Here we go, let's see if this one's going to pay off. Gerright still towards CT side. Happy's at the back of the site, though. Exist found MBK, but somewhere as Gerright did get through. Alu checks it out, gets the kill, and now Kenny going to back out of this one. And these guys are going to be looking to try and keep hold of this. A really well played out round by NFP. Yeah, that was beautifully done. The execution through it and just that Molotov to flush out Happy, not overcommitting to the site before they clear everything. And yeah, that was great. I mean, that was kind of similar to what we saw in Cologne. Virtus Pro just beat NIP up on this map. And it was based largely on the fact that NIP's T-sides were very, very stale. They were doing the similar thing where they would just group up in Banana and just run the clock down and then try and execute and see what happened. This time they can get away with it because the buy is a little bit weak from Envy. They don't have the firepower to mow down 2 or 3 players. I mean, they don't even get any that round. Gerright sneaks into CT spawn. He had every option available, either wrapping onto that bomb site or just pushing up into CT spawn to prevent rotations from coming in anytime soon. Either way, they take that site very clean. It's now 5-2.
and an even more desperate buy out of Envy. I mean, they saved the weapons, but 2 CZs this time instead of just 1.
Yeah, real shoddy coming out, and Apex actually not making an impact yet, I believe, onto that scoreboard. Really quiet game from him. Quite surprising, normally not exactly his game so far, but then again, they've not really played in towards his hands at this point, but you kind of expect a little more from him.
Well, Apex is one of those players who at times he has this reputation for he needs to get a hot start, and then he turns beast mode, and when he gets a slow start, when he starts out early, it's tough for him to get back into the game, and we saw him get punished on the pistol round, peeking down mid, trying to get, to maybe take a free shot or just get some information, and then 2 rounds later, we saw him overcommit in window and get punished by Forest for it, so he's had 2 very challenging rounds that have cost his team a lot here, so he's going to have to find a way to stay into the game mentally.
Can pick that performance up, I'm sure he'll be doing just fine, but it's actually Alu starting to look for an opportunity towards that A side, but smoke towards quad, not going to allow. Pop Flash does get him in, but we know that it's been generally Kenny S playing for the CT. He's there once again, this time of course with the rifle, no AWP, no CZ there for him to work with, but just as post, falls back, plays a pass, but they have drawn a player over towards A, at least for a second. Happy they turned his attention over, as MBK going to have to commit all of that utility through, and no one played it through just yet. They slowed down the time.
Yeah, and what they did is they made an execute draw out of utility. Now they have a full Molotov kit to execute out of the site. MBK's got to come with something. It's just finds one. Happy finds a second. Now EnVyUs response. Forrest, get right, Alu, each picking up one. MBK behind the bounty. Does get a dink on the get right. It's going to be all on to Apex, but that looks scary, and Nip pulls it right back.
Well, if there's any time for Apex to start finding any sort of performances right about now, get right to the low. Alu a little low, but it doesn't matter. Forrest is going to put him down from the backside as the AWP short shot will come through. But looking at it this way, I'm surprised. I was always getting a little nervous because when you look at Envy when they have those CZs, you're like, okay, if they get the opportunity, if they get a chance at this, it can just spiral into their favor. And you saw so many kills coming through there, but it's great to see NIP not allowing those sort of rounds kind of falling away from it. It seems like such a rarity, such a long time since we've seen it. But still, Kenny's going to be making that shot down towards Banana. Going to take the active play, going to try and get some early control, and he's going to get it. Prybo gets denied. The king of Banana just gets cut down. And now Apex does finally get on towards his scoreboard, finding exist, and this is a much better round from Envy. Yeah,
I mean, finally winning some of those early duels, and it comes down to Kenny. I think this is the first time we've seen him with an AWP in this half, and he puts it to work, gets that initial kill. So now, I mean, in a 3-on-5, not really too much left for NIP to do. And just to build on that point, you said, those CZs getting a couple early kills, but NIP responding pretty much immediately. I mean, this is a map that has especially highlighted Nip's problems in the past where, let Freiburg try an entry somewhere, but he doesn't have any support, so coming through a smoke, he gets mowed down. This time, everyone's going together, but doesn't matter when Q is holding that angle, no chance of a refrag. Apex even clean and get right up, and this is looking to be a clean victory until Alu gets down Q, but he falls very quickly afterwards, and a lot of opportunities here for the Envy players to upgrade.
See what they go for now. We should be able to get at least what they'd want to. MBK still with Max 7, I can only see for now. I'm not sure if he's going to maybe look for more, but I guess if he's holding B close, it's not exactly the worst weapon in the world to be working with. He can make that one count, but outside of that, once again, Forrest sticking the AWP. We've barely seen Alu touch this. We've seen, I think, just at the end of the round when he picked it up, actually a Forrest after he died, so it's a real rarity to see Alu picking that one up, maybe just not feeling on the T side, or just maybe not in this map at all. There we go, Kenny looking for an opportunity to bring this one back into favour towards Envy. Not going to catch it down by those T-sided apps, but Freddy Nip slowing things down a little last time. Alu went strolling up mid before, but playing a little calmer now, playing a little slower, waiting for those smokes to dissipate, so maybe they can start drawing some players out here, but still, 6-3's a pretty respectable scoreline considering, in Freiburg, Molly, they're not sure when that was going to, but once again falls into place.
Yeah, but basically NIP just bomb's already very close to B. They're going to commit to this bomb site hit. I mean, they really don't have too much to fall back from it. It's going to be Alu and Forrest working the way up mid. See what they're going to find. Smoke off left, see if they can put some pressure on the right side over towards the truck side of mid. Apex is completely isolated from his teammates, but no committal quite yet. Actually, they're going to get Forrest up now. Alu as well joining him, and there's Caddy chiming in. He gets the opening kill, but the hit is going to be over towards the B bomb site. Already a third player for Envy rotating. They're reading this very well.
Perfectly read so far. If they commit towards this, they have to take down an additional player, as you mentioned. Apex is going to be there. MBK is burning alive right now. He doesn't have the chance to even walk away from it. He just accepts his fate, leaves it in the hands of Apex and Happy to deal with. And now Happy basically bombs down. Just 10 seconds left. Apex has to reload. Who we're running out of time here. NIP have to get this done fast. Bomb does go down. 2v3 though. NIP are outnumbered, but they can make something happen here. Exist just takes the shot wildly, but it's just not going to land. Angle and Forest just getting outdone by Apex as well. Nice little retake coming out from EnVyUs then, as Kenny, the one to get the defuse going, but really well played towards the later stage of that. That just became so late in the day then, and hell, if NBK didn't just get molly straight out, I can imagine that would have been dealt with a little sooner maybe.
Yeah, it's a good combo. I mean, that flashbang was timed perfectly, so MBK doesn't even realize he's burning until he's basically already dead. But that's kind of the trap that NIP fell in. That match I talked about against Virtus.pro in Cologne was they get into those late rounds, they're dedicated to a B hit very early on, and as the clock runs down, they don't have a lot of time to clear these bomb sites. They have to get to the trades quickly. Here's Alu with the op now instead of Forest.
I'm curious as to what MBK has as well. Well, it's paid up instantly anyway. That's gonna get MBK running out with the AUG as well. Not.
We know he likes to use the less popular guns. The less traditional is a good way to put it.
Helping Valve sell those skins. He's a kind man. He's a kind man. But 4v4 though, back into the actual game. He's gonna be, I can imagine, sat on that B site, just in the back there. I guess maybe he can just hold an angle, maybe just wait for like a little head, you know, literally just line up a headshot height and just wait for it. Maybe it'll work out, but Get Right's falling back into more of a traditional role I've seen him in, just playing through those apps. Trying to keep players on the early side, and he's so good at doing it. Alu's gonna have some freedom towards that CT arch. But already, NES being down, no one's there to really greet him yet, and of course they're having to play very, very passive by CT.
Yeah, but that pressure put on by Get Right has pulled the third player over towards the A bomb site. Now MBK is going to be in a lot of trouble with this AUG. Spray away at him, but he can't connect with anything. There's Alu fighting a pick, and there's the Freiburg just rushes MBK, and it all collapses so quick for Envy. NIP just turn it up. They spread out that defense, and all of them find their kills. The defense gets demolished, and once again, back to a very, very weird situation where Envy's got to decide how much they want to invest into this round.
And it's more than we've seen so far, actually. Normally it's just been, you know, the CBZs, the 5.7s, and Deagle maybe. This time they've gone for a little bit of armor as well, so maybe trying to complement a little more, and I guess they kind of need to at this point. They're 4-7 down at the moment to NIP on this map. It's something you don't think will happen all that often. And Alu again with the AWP though. This is the factor that changed up in that previous round, but we're going to see maybe a little more aggression coming out from EnVyUs trying to catch out someone in Apex. Oh my word, is Get Right actually he is. Wow. He's taking every single angle. This guy just, you know, doesn't rest for a second.
No, his game sense is just so incredibly strong. So, and there's another kill for Exist, just picking this Envy defense apart. Force even getting one. And this is a massacre in this round, and this is something Envy so good on these ecos. They're not finding any success here. I will say that Envy's, I mean, they're obviously not going to be very pleased with this half, but I imagine going into their terrorist half with the success they've had on it in the past, they're still feeling confident in what they can do on that terrorist half, because that's the half for them that's really dangerous on Inferno.
Well, if you're Envy, you'd assume you'd be confident throughout this game. Let's bear in mind, if you're on this map against NIP, you'd be like, okay, we should have this in the bag. You know, let's be real here. Envy have a great record on this map. NIP have been, well, pretty much shying away from this for a long time, and you can't really blame them, especially against Envy, but I'm happy just trying to keep hold of that 5.7, and especially the armor. Well, he's not going to find much at this point, but I think that's Forrest starting to lurk his way up. Sitting down by that underpass. He's going to try and make something happen again. So, a very clean round again for NIP, keeping everything they have, and actually full almost utility towards Forrest and Alu remaining as well. So, this is looking like a decent team side coming out from NIP. On the other side of things, Envy not in the best position money-wise either right now.
This is looking like an amazing terrorist app from NIP. This is stunning. So Envy, I mean, the Mag 7 once again back on NPK. The first time he had it had no impact. Kio's got a FAMAS, no kits across the board, so the retakes are going to be a very tough spot. And this map, you have to be able to retake bomb sites, and it just lowers the amount of time they can do with it. I'm not quite sure what that Molotov was from Freiburg. I think he was going to line something up and let go a little early, but that doesn't do anything.
I'm just glad we caught it, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to see. Anyway, I guess Forrest is now going to have to kind of make sure his molly does a little more damage.
But still, a very slow play here from NIP.
They've still got 2 mollies left. They've still got a lot to do in this one. It's not like they're out of options by this point.
Well, what they've done in the past is they know they have the economy of Envy very, very weak is they did that fake execute and then a re-execute on the B, and it worked perfectly. Sucked all the nades out of the defenders over at the B bomb site. Now applying some pressure on mid. Kenny's got to fall back, feeling very nervous, but this time wisely. Envy's been fooled by this a couple times, pulling a player over off B to cheat towards A. It hasn't happened quite yet. He's staying very stalwart, staying very dedicated to that B bomb site.
I just can't wait to see where they actually head towards that bomb. Bottom banana not committed anywhere just yet, but with 24 seconds left, Freiburg's actually going through here. It's going to be NBK to green out the door, and there we go. Happy comes into the action as well. That's the B side of things shut down. Kenny starts looking as well. To get right then, but get right will have the drop on him, finding him in library, but 10 seconds remaining. I don't think he's getting towards this in time, and now Keo certainly going to just scamper any chances. Alu's going to get away, keep that off in his clutches as safely as possible. DT side, gonna just have to sit this one out, and they will indeed pick up a round on the board. And it just looked like NIP just didn't get those options going. That B side got shut down early on. Well, not early on, but you know, as soon as they tried to make that play through.
Yeah, it seemed like they didn't really have any plan to execute at any point, and you know, that's fine because it's worked in the past where they've been all spread out and they found some picks that round none of the kills go their way, none of those battles are won by NAP players, so Envy stays strong there. And now they've got 3 Molotovs to work with, they've got 5 smokes as well, so now it's looking a little bit brighter for them in this round, but NIP being very aggressive. And another, oh, they're blocking off the smoke. That's what that's for. They want to stop that smoke that's thrown from the wrap side of A. They wanted to extinguish on the roof, but they missed it now at that time.
I did wonder if it actually worked. If it bounces, does it still extinguish?
Yes.
Okay. They are.
They just missed it a little bit. It was too far to the left, so the smoke just bounced right past it. And that's what better must have been too with Freiburg, where we said he was just timing it for when that smoke finally extinguished for the return smoke, the second smoke that would follow up. He was trying to time that.
Okay, so it's not Freiburg missing. It's okay. No. We know now. We've uncovered
our
the
mistake.
Exactly. But looking at it so far, looking at NIP, it's kind of looking a little similar to that previous round, but this time Forrest actually taking the bomb towards Gerai and Alu. Freiburg's actually putting himself back a little bit from Banana, and it might be a play more towards this A side. We're going to see actually only 2 players here. They've actually pulled back one of them towards a little bit of a deeper side of CT Archer's going to have to turn his attention now. It could be Kenny S out there, I can imagine. And now Happy's going to be coming over as well. This is looking a little bit different. And there we go. 3 players now towards A. Bait and switch if I've ever seen one. But Get Right's actually coming out with a good. It doesn't matter. Freiburg succeeds. And Get Right single-handedly just takes down his A side. Just leaps into the loving arms of Keo in the end. But by this point, Keo's got bombs flying. Alu's ready and waiting. NIP just dragging Envy around the map then. That was perfect.
That's the beauty of Get Right. That's why he's the best lurker in the world, because we can see how good he is at passive lurking, but rounds like that, when he's the solo player, lurking in gaps in the defense very aggressively, he finds 3 kills. He's having a monster series, so he's just here reminding everyone that he's one of the best players in the world. And it's very impressive out of him, what we've seen so far in these 2 maps.
Get Right has always been such a monster in this game. It's good to see him having a good game in his style of play. It's beautiful to watch. And now looking at Envy, not looking too pretty here. Money-wise, down to the CZs, the 5-7s. Cloud9, I can imagine, still wincing a little bit looking at that, but it doesn't matter. MBK's at least found Freiburg.
I don't like that play. They haven't done that all they've had success, and I mean, this is just harkening back to that NIP that struggled at their terror sides at time. Just sent Freiburg through a smoke at B with no support, so he falls, no chance of a response. MBK gets a free AK-47 out of it.
This is falling back maybe to a little bit of a careless mentality, thinking, okay, well, they're on a weaker economy than us. We can just kind of fall back to what we know, and you can't do that against Envy here. Kenny's going to find Forrest as well, and maybe around the backside, almost caught out Get Right, but that game he's not going to get a chance to get any more Kenny there. He gets shut down as well, and Get Right once again saving the day almost here for NIP, at least to this point, but it's still Happy in MBK. MBK, bear in mind, has the rifle as well. They have to commit to this. It's the final round of the half. There's no sitting back. There's no point by this hour. And now Alu getting tagged up. His presence noticed. Doesn't matter. Exists in the perfect spot. Watching from that side of pit. As Happy trying to edge his way through the smoke. Finds Alu towards apartments. Waits for that molly to go. Challenge down with one. Ooh! I got a little close there. But Exist does find Happy in the end. Even though look at the HP left towards NIP at the end of that one. That was very, very close. But a solid and a half. A solid half coming out from NIP. 10-5 over Envy on this map. It's a scary realization.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. NIP is going to be very happy with that. I don't think anyone expected that to happen, although if there is a side of this map that you're going to punish Envy on, it's that CT side, this terrace side now. I mean, it's still game on. We saw the comeback that Envy made on Dust 2. Now they're on the T side of Inferno, and they can mess with teams equally as much as NIP just did to them. And a lot of it is going to come down to these early rounds. Who can stabilize their economy quick enough? Get Right's going to be on these dualies, as we've seen them do in the past. And this looks like an aggressive play down middle. One player, I believe that's Forrest, pushing down mid with the USB, but he gets punished, much like Apex. He makes the aggressive play this time, and it's returned.
It certainly is. This is a little bit back and forth. We still got a player down mid here, and Get Right on the verge of something brilliant. If only you knew. Oh my word! Not just long enough. MBK will catch him, and that is the B side looking very, very vulnerable. There's one man in the back lines here. Alu's on the way. Freiburg doesn't even get an opportunity to make it count, as Alu and Exist, the last two standing, and sadly for NIP, everything they put together, those small little nuances, those little plans just fall to pieces as Envy block train their way towards that B side. Alu's found Kenny though, and there's still a chance here, but every second that passes and every single block shot that connects, it gets weaker and weaker, but now down to a 1v1. Keo should have this every day of the week. It should not be a day for Exist to pick it up, and he does! But does he have the time?
He picks up a kit!
He's got a kit! Oh my word! How the hell did Keo let that one slip? Exist out of nowhere, picking up 3, locking down the round, and that just adds insult to injury. EnVyUs had 3 alive. They were in the side, bomb planted, armor, Glock, everything they needed, and then NIP just do the unbelievable.
I mean, those are the plays that make you believe in Nip magic, and if you weren't before, you might be now. Exist just dodges every bullet. He plays it like the Matrix and just dodges everything, grabs a couple very, very nice headshots, and there he is. He continues it, feeling good about himself, takes that battle long range. He picks up the M4 because he can afford head armor as well on top of things, and Envy with that plant. They did this on Dust 2 as well. They're not going to invest into armor. They're going to buy next round, but they've really got to turn it up now because NIP is grabbing a commanding lead.
Yeah, you do not want to allow NIP any more confidence. Already on the half, they've been feeling pretty good about that. They know that Envy's strong on their T side, but now, starting off like this, absolutely perfect. Being a perfectly clean round as well. That is exactly what any NIP fan would love to see here. And especially the team behind me. I can hear them through these headsets as well, getting so hyped up already about this. As you noted, something we've seen consistently coming out from EnVyUs, this buy-up in towards this round. AKs, you know, 4 rifles pretty much coming out. A Galil there for NBK, not the end of the world. But this is where the pressure starts, and they need to make it count. Of course, 3 SMGs still there with NIP as well, so this should be around that NV can work with.
Well, two of these SMGs are actually umps, so they can penetrate armor very, very well. So they're no slouch. They can clean up AK-47 armor players pretty decently. And Envy, I mean, this is a team that likes to run through smokes. They like to throw flashbangs through smokes and just bully their way through them. They've only got 2 flashbangs to work with and 3 smokes to work with, so they're gonna have to pick and choose. They're gonna have to choose where they want to go in this round very carefully because they cannot afford to drop this one. That would force them onto an eco round in the next one, and that would give NIP too much.
Exactly. The scoreline would start looking too scary, too drastic, too far away, but so far, time being bought here by NIP. They're buying a hell of a lot of time in this instance. Smokes down, taking their time, and already MBK down to 1 HP just from the exchange here with Alu. He's going to be able to pick up the mantle though, find Get Right. There we go, Keo finds Freiburg. That's cracked open B and Banana completely. They're on the rotate, they're not messing around. Apex finds the ball, and this is what we know. This is what EnVyUs can do. This is what I expected a lot earlier on, but now just Forrest left alive. We'll at least catch Apex out. MBK's a little low short. They shouldn't be allowed anymore. That is actually putting out the challenge. Happy, this is embarrassing. Between the oh my, there we go. Alright, Forrest finally lands the shot. That took a little too long for my taste, considering we had Happy with the rifle as well. But still, Forrest staying alive, trying to keep anyone at bay. He's not going to get the third that time. Kenny's going to leap around the corner, but still. Fairly expensive, but they do win in the end, and that's the important factor.
Right, but crucially, actually, I don't even think NIP is going to force buy here, so they're just going to get some pistols and armor. Thought saving those SMGs might give them enough money to buy some M4s, but either way, I mean, the interesting thing about that round was Envy didn't really have to do anything. NIP just kind of pushed down Banana, pushed right into Keo, and he gets a couple kills, and from there, they've got to be aggressive at other portions of the map. This has a shotgun. Alu's going to push up very quickly in these halls. They might not be ready for it, but NBK turns around at the right moment, loses the battle anyway. Now Alu is stuck. Can he find something magical? He gets the dink, almost able to do it.
That's terrifying to look at, considering there's still a lot on the plate here with NIP. They've got a lot of weaponry, and Kenny, yes, getting tagged up as well. Apex and Kenny, a little low in this. Exist still alive, Freiburg, and Get Right. The Caesars are removed, it's down to the P250 and that shotgun in the hands of Exist. Get Right. Looks out of this window, he's just going to hold the push up here, and look at this, both players holding each other's push. Bash going to come in. Get Right, not going to respond off the back of that. Going to back away. And the bomb joined by Keo as well. That's Kenny S and Keo looking towards that B side, but we know Exist is waiting. And this could be some players just completely slaughtered if they walk in and don't check.
Yeah, I mean, this is a brilliant position from Get Right because he's funneled them over towards the B bomb site. It allows the teammate to even rotate over to help out Exist, but they've got to be careful. Happy's flanking into the A bomb site. He's going to tell his team it's clear. They're going to fall off this now. And it's going to be a lot of work for Get Right. If they come up mid, there's so many low players. This could be a slaughter. This could be another beautiful play from Get Right if he plays it right.
Oh, he's playing this so well as well. Playing it away, he's heard them running past now. That's going to be the point. They already know. They're already down banana. They're already in CT Arch. They've got to be careful though. Happy had pushed up earlier, sitting there just side of library. Now Get Right was in the good position now, but he might have just outweighted his usefulness by this point. They're already starting to exit through that CT side, and he's just not had the opportunity. He waited out, looking for backup to come in. Exists not in the ideal place either by now, and it looks like maybe NIP just not having the opportunity to make it count. And Envy playing it well. That's the thing to say as well in this one. Even though they got taken a little low, they played it well. They didn't overcommit. They didn't say, oh, alright, screw it, let's just go B. We've got the guns, we're fine. They took the time. They went back over off the calls, coming out, I believe, from Happy it was then. Yeah, it was around the side. So at least they did their job there. They didn't take it too bad.
Well, that's the thing. They do lose Apex to the explosion. Not a huge deal, though. But that's exactly what it was. That was, you know, Happy's on those voice comms as he's pushing up mid, and he's like, guys, wait. Everyone just wait. I'm coming up. I haven't seen anyone yet. Let me discover what's in the bomb site. Don't do anything. Don't execute. And once he grabs that intel, they do the full rotate back, and they actually get to... They bypass Get Right completely with a great position. But now we're back onto the buy. Exist still with the shotgun, but 3 M4s and a salvage Galil on Freiburg.
Far from perfect, but it's going to be Exist trying to make the most of this. 2 players from Envy going to walk straight into him. He gets the 1-1 not too bad. Sets it up perfectly for Forrest. That is beautiful play from that man. Happy and Apex just getting decimated. And already leaving EnVyUs in those dire situations. 2 players alive, Kenny S and Keo. Sure, they've been having great games themselves, but Keo especially being able to crack open those sites. But against 4 players from NIP, you should be able to achieve that. And Forrest already watching this angle.
Yeah, well, Kenny actually uses the HE explosion to get to the other side. Forrest doesn't know he's there, so that could be an interesting angle. But look at this, Alu. Keo's sneaking up. Alu's going to win that battle. Now it's just Kenny in the halls. Not a whole lot there. He's spotted out. Forrest is going to finish it off with a hat trick. 3 kills for him in that round. That was a beautiful spray down in halls. He transfers it over perfectly. As I believe it was Apex who had jumped up into the window room, just runs right into that line of fire. So a good win for NIP there. They're going to be up. It's 13-7. It is a buy out of Envy. 3 AK-47s, 2 Tech 9s on the board. Plenty enough for it to be scary for an EnVyUs lineup.
You're not going to see Exist with the AWP. That's something you don't see every day, especially when you've got Forrest and Alu who love playing this. But
been dominating it all day. It was just because of the spawn that he had. He peeked out mid. He's giving it right back to Alu.
Falling back to side normal, but already Envy playing a lot faster here. They've gone for control towards quad, maybe a little bit of presence towards Apple. The nades raining in. It's going to be Kenny who only wants to make an impact with them so far. Exist still to Keo. Happy and Kenny still doing damage, but Get Right round the backside. It's all down to Kenny here, 1v2. He's going to get the bomb down. Kenny, though, just gets dealt with by Get Right, just pushing him aside. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but NIP are looking like the team who's about to beat EnVyUs on Inferno. This doesn't happen. It's 14-7. What's going on, Moses?
It's Get Right and Forrest. So just, I mean, look at the 2 of them. They both have 18 kills. Even Exist has 19, which you don't get too often out of the in-game leader from NIP. Alu has 16. All these players just so overwhelming right now. Get Right and Forrest especially, their aim is on point. Get Right just takes out Kenny in that 2-on-1. That was a 1-on-1. That was actually almost a little bit of an overcommittal for Get Right because his teammate wasn't there to trade the kill. I mean, that could have easily turned into a 1-on-1, but just with the aim he's displaying right now, just immediate punish.
Here we go. Already going to kick it off with a bang. It's Alu finding MBK in second mid. Now, he was so close to finding Apex, and if only he knew, but still, he's going to have to fall back here. He's on 1 HP. I wonder if he's going to trade out that or give that one over to Forrest, quite possibly. We'll have to wait and see what he decides at this point. He can fall back to a more passive angle with Exist to be playing that one. Tagged up himself, so actually, NIP, even though they do have the numbers, they certainly don't have the HP, and that's going to set it up perfectly for Apex. Crack that one open. Geralt gets found tucked away in the corner, and Apex playing that role that we know him for to an astounding level, but Forrest finding one, he's going to maybe catch a glimpse of another. I think he might have just... he certainly knew that Happy was there. I don't think he lined up the shot perfectly for him, but still, Alu's going to be waiting out in pit. Got Freiburg en route. Freiburg's been having a very quiet game, though, but still.
Yeah, they haven't really gone to him over at the B-bomb side. Yeah, even in the terrace half. Now Alu, so much pressure. They're gonna come out halls, and he's not ready. Goes for the no-scope. Freiburg bails him out. Alu's still alive, but Freiburg gets a second one. Just when you call him out, he comes up with a triple kill, saves the day. Alu had so much pressure put on him, but Freiburg got perfect timing on that rotation. Cleans up all three, 15-7. It's match point. It's series point for NIP.
And a perfect time to shut us up as well. As soon as we doubt the man, of course he gets the triple kill. But looking at the T side here, EnVyUs have nothing. They're down to what? An SMG, Tech 9s. They've got utility sure and a good bit of armor there, but there's Exist just feeling super confident already, peeking down mid with that auto sniper. And Alu going straight for that peek towards second mid. He's got all the information in the world. They know what's happening here. You've got players pushing down Banana from NIP, and just where are EnVyUs going to bring this one? They just have to power through, and it's down towards match point. This could be huge for NIP, and there we have it. He gets the third. This is perfect point, and he closes it down with the fourth. Just summing up this game to a team. Forrest playing out of his mind, and NIP picking up the series in 2 maps. You know what? At the start of this, I thought this could be a 3-mapper. That's where we'll see NIP maybe challenging out on that 3rd map, but my god. That's a team that we've not seen in a long time showing up.
Yeah, that's individuals in NIP that we haven't seen in a long time, and we're seeing the havoc they're wreaking right now. That's such an impressive win, and it's really interesting because I think it was Thorn that posted a stat out that NIP hadn't won a best of 3 against the top 10 team in number of months. It had been a long time. They'd only won 1 or something in the past 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
And now they just beat Envy in the best of 3. That's huge, and that's a team that has looked so good recently, but they come out flat here in Dubai, and now they're gone, and NIP's going to move on.
Yeah, and they're going to face TSM next. Not exactly an easy team to face up against. They are far more veteran side, a side that's taken down Fnatic already in this tournament, so NIP have a extraordinarily tough task at hand coming into it, but as you said, when their players are playing that well, when they're that on point, it's hard to doubt them in a way. It's hard to get, you start believing, right? It's something horrible. You hate being that person sometimes,
yeah.
But when you see Geralt and Forrest pulling off these sort of plays, when Exist even comes up big with these sort of things, when Freiburg, when the pressure's on, he finds a 3K, and then you look at Alu, how he was playing on Dust 2, that's 5 very deadly players. Finding some bit of form here, but you've got to say on paper again, TSM should be the one to shut them down. But then again,
we said the same thing about Envy
right?
just now before this matchup.
Exactly.
And I mean, you kind of have to throw. I mean, this is a thing about this team that we've known for some time, even through this slump. Once Forrest and Get Right show back up, you kind of have to throw the rule book out. I mean, you can't get a great read. I mean, because those guys, we've seen them. I mean, we've seen them explode recently in the past. It stretches through this slump, but they've played so consistently from yesterday to today. And they've been playing lights out both days. I mean, they're stringing them together right now, and that's going to be scary for any team. I don't care if you're TSM, I don't care if you're Fnatic. I mean, none of those players are going to be necessarily scared, but you look at those matchups, and all of a sudden you're like, if those 2 players are playing like they are right now, I mean, nothing's guaranteed anymore.
Exactly. I think it throws everything a little out of place. So I think it just heats up the tournament. I think that's exactly what I want to see anyway. I love seeing games where it gets a little bit more exciting, a little bit closer. And we're going to have to wait and see how that one pans out in the end here, because obviously this is just the early stream. We are just starting this one off. We're just going to get this one warmed up. These games were meant to be played kind of behind the stage as they are currently. This isn't the main show. This is just how it's starting off today. 6:30, I believe, local time is when it starts to become the real show. When the stage kicks up and the sun goes down, as you said, it gets a little bit different when the sun goes down, right?
Crazy.
Exactly, but no. For now, I think we're almost wrapping up here. But guys, do stay tuned. There's another game coming up pretty soon. I think this is just going to be enjoyable enough to look back on already for myself. Just knowing that it's always good to have a little bit of an upset coming out early on in the day. And Envy, I don't know. It's pretty heartbreaking for those guys. I can imagine, especially I can imagine when they saw Inferno was on the play. They're like, all right, got that to fall back to. Got that one.
I think everyone kind of saw Inferno on the plate and was like, all right, well, there's an instant 1-0 for Envy.
Right.
But I mean, stunning fashion that Nip just did that in. So that's awesome to have seen that level out of these guys, and they're going to move on, like you said, against TSM. And next up, it's going to be Fnatic versus Titan. So we're going to have another team that's slowly been improving. Titan not having great results, much like NIP, and they're going up against another, I mean, the best team in the world. So that'll be an interesting best of 3. It'll be a good barometer to see exactly where Titan's at.
I think Smiths even yesterday said, you know, you saw two sides of us. You saw the team that can play well and the team that's a little quiet. So we have to wait and see which side turns up today. Of course, guys, do stay tuned. This is the ESL ESEA Pro League Dubai Invitational. And we'll be back after a very short break. So do stick around. We'll be back in a while.